You're listening to the 49 Carats podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats podcast. I'm sure you guys are glad you don't have to do a podcast right now after witnessing what we just watched. I mean, man, that's tough. That was tough to watch. Obviously, I have a lot of emotions over the game, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. We were watching it at, a watch party, and it was a very slow burn of a game. It was a defensive battle, especially like early on. I think I kind of expected that it would be. But at the same time, I did feel like there were opportunities for the 49ers early on in the game. It felt like they were moving the ball. It felt like they had good enough drives to be able to get some points, out of it. And as we know, far too often when you're playing against, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, you have to be able to put points up on the board, or what we just saw happen is what happens. So yeah, this is a tough one. I'm still a little emotional about the loss, and I was like watching the fourth quarter, like I cried watching the fourth quarter because I was like, all of what could possibly happen was in my mind. I really I really hope that no Chiefs fan or no one takes this video and like clips it, but it hurts. It hurts, man. And man, I'm just thinking, like, if this hurts for us, watching the games and watching this whole season play out, like, can you imagine the players? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I cried. I'm crying right now. I'm crying right now. This shit sucks. Um, but no, the reason I was crying in the fourth quarter because I was like, they they can win, and like to me, I was like, that's really emotional. I want them to win. I know, it's stupid, But I also was crying because I was like, oh, they can lose too. So I was feeling all of the emotions at the same time, and still clearly feeling all the emotion. Yeah, cry it out. I'm crying it out. Um, yeah, yeah, man. This shit's tough. But I'm I'm here to talk about the game. I'm not here to cry in front of you guys. We can do that on our own time. So all good. But yeah, no, it sucked. And I'm just thinking about how much it must hurt for, you know, the players. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, I know a lot of people have blame to place on different, people. I know a lot of people are talking about, like, who gets the blame. Sometimes, like, someone is not always just on one specific person. Like, it's a team sport. You play with all 53 guys and, like, all the guys who play on the field. There's so many injuries for the 49ers in this game. It was absolutely insane. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted for Dre Greenlaw. That sucks. That sucks, man. Achilles. Torn Achilles. I mean, not to make any excuses at all, but I mean, obviously that changed the game. On the other end, like the Chiefs, they didn't have Charles Omenihu for this game either. So again, I'm not making excuses because both teams had some big injuries. It was just that one hurt because he was balling. He was balling early in the game. So, um, yeah, man. I'm not I'm not blaming, one specific thing or one specific coach or player. I To me, the way it played out, it didn't feel that way. I'll say this, like, one thing Kyle said leading up to this week was he just didn't want to have any regrets. And I haven't seen the pressers yet, but I wonder if he had any regrets. Like, if you were in Kyle's shoes, would you guys have any regrets? Like, I'm just wondering, like, out of genuine curiosity, because I'm like, does he regret not? I mean, I'm sure he regrets not scoring on, the final OT drive where they ended up kicking the field goal. But I'm like, did he regret not going for it on fourth down? Does he regret not calling a different play in that moment? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, always like revisionist history and like when you look back, it's always easy to point out all the mistakes, all the things that went wrong. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was just that. Like, also in the final drive, the Chiefs were able to move the ball down the field. I mean, that's just difficult, right? Like Patrick Mahomes with a chance to win a Super Bowl, of course. They knew it too. That's what's so crazy is like all of them knew. Everyone in the building knew you can't have Patrick Mahomes have the ball last. You can't. I knew it. Like I knew it all through this week. I was like, that's one of the keys for the 49ers. This game would be won or lost in the fourth quarter. And like it definitely played out that way for them. So yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. After the game, I was like, man, I was kind of just like angry and frustrated. And I was like, I'm gonna do this live and be rational, be super rational about it. But I mean, all the emotions just kind of flooded. I came in here and I saw some of your guys' comments already here before I even started. Um, yeah, because that's just passion, man. Like we're all really passionate about this team, and what happened this year. Not our year. It's tough, man. Like that's the craziest part, right? The grind of an entire season, like playoffs, going this far to the Super Bowl. That takes an emotional toll. It took an emotional toll on me. Again, I don't even play the game. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what's next for this team. It's brutal. Thank you. Shout out my brother. Holding it down in the comments. We love you, Steph. We hate Mahomes. Man, I like Mahomes is frustrating because we've lost him twice in the Super Bowl, but that's like it's like playing against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. It's like you got to play the game of your life. And a lot of these yeah, I'm good, Jake. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. We're holding strong here. Um yeah, like these guys, especially on defense, like early on, they were playing the game of their lives. Nick Bosa was out there like hustling. Eric Armstead was hustling. Kinlaw, like all these dudes, Chase Young, man, like all these dudes were out there grinding. And I was like, man, they're really trying. Like they're stepping up for the moment. Um, then seeing how the game was close, I was like, man, I know what Chiefs team we're gonna get after halftime. I was like, it's crazy because like we just know how the game is gonna play out, and even seeing it in real time, we're like, it can't actually be happening like this, right? Right? Um, it's kind of like you know how it's gonna finish. But shout out Ryan, thank you Ryan. Um, Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Like again, I was like, I'm gonna be super strong, and we're all sad, so I'm not gonna make you guys more sad. But yeah, I'm sorry. Um, it all hit me. Yeah, Peter Lee says don't blame the D. The D was gas. They definitely were. The offense didn't help. The offense, yeah, this definitely wasn't the type of game I was expecting from the offense. Like I knew it was gonna be hard for them. I knew that um Steve Spagnuolo and that Chiefs defense, they were gonna ball out. They were gonna try to complicate things for Brock Purdy. Um, they're gonna do what they've done all year, and that is play great defense. Like I knew, and it's the Super Bowl, so you got to expect that too from them. So think that's what we saw. When I watched all 22 back, I refused to watch the last Super Bowl in Miami last time, but I want to watch this one back because, like, in my mind, I'm like, man, what happened? Like, what specific thing did the Chiefs do that worked? Like, a lot of people were like, "Where's George Kittle in this game?" Like, he talked about being back with a vengeance, and you know, he disappeared in this game. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was the Chiefs defense that is the reason for that. Again, I need to watch it back. I don't know if any of you guys noticed how, the Chiefs were playing Kittle, but him being kind of taken out of the game, I will say, and Debo leaving for a bit, kind of stalled some drives. Christian McCaffrey, I think, averaged like 3 point something yards per carry. Um, as a whole, the 49ers averaged 3.5 yards per rush. In the end, when in OT, when they had a chance to score, they were running the football. They were committed to it. I dug it. I was like, you got to give the ball to your best player and have no regrets. So the way that the Lions went out, kind of similar, right? Like they went out the way that they've played all season. That was being aggressive. That was, them going for it on fourth down. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But if you hear what the Lions said after that game, they basically had no regrets about it. And again, I'm going back to what Kyle Shanahan said, not having any regrets about this game. So I don't know. I don't know if he ended up having any regrets. I hope not. I hope not. Obviously, like one big glaring regret would be, giving Patrick Mahomes a shot there at the end. But um yeah, I mean, that's not just on Kyle Shanahan. Like, is that on Brock Purdy? Is that on the offensive line? Chris Jones had a very timely pressure there, right? Again, that's why I say, like, it's a team sport. You can't just blame one player for a Super Bowl loss. You can't just blame one head coach. I know because he's the head coach, and I understand that Kyle Shanahan is going to get a lot of the flack, or just like a lot of heads are gonna turn to Kyle and be like, "Yo, Kyle, like, what happened, man? He's a head coach." Like, I totally understand that's what's gonna happen, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm really interested, genuinely interested to watch this game back and kind of see how it unfolded. But I guess like the outcome of it didn't like super surprise me because I don't know. It went how I expected. Even Kyle was like, "Yeah, this game went how we expected." So it's just weird. It's just weird to know what's gonna happen and you still can't do anything about it. Like, sucks. Yeah. Kittle 2 catches, Ayuk 3 catches. That's tough. But again, the Chiefs defense played a really great game, and so I want to see specifically what they did to make it so Kittle only had 2 catches. I want to see what they did specific. Well, Ayuk probably he was on Ladarius Sneed was on him almost the entire game. So I'm assuming because Sneed has been locked down pretty much this whole time. I'm assuming that Sneed was able to shut down Ayuk for most of this game. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Looking back at like the final stats for the team, both teams, it was pretty close. Like the one that's glaring to me, the 49ers were 3 of 12 on third down. The Chiefs were 9 of 19. There were so many. I think at one point the 49ers had, was it 3? Um, that very much reminds me of the Miami Super Bowl as well. Like the 49ers, they just stalled on offense, didn't really have any answers. So you know, that's tough. Yeah, they had 3 straight 3 and outs in the second half. That's tough. That's really tough. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Early on in the game, I was like, "Yo, Brock has a pocket. Like he has time to throw." But obviously, as the game goes on, adjustments are made. Um, yeah, Fabi's like, "I'm not watching this game." Ryan's like, "No, I'm not watching this shit back." 49ers media says OL was awful. That's crazy because, like, actually, early in the game, I was like, yo, they're putting on a masterclass. Like, they're actually giving Brock time. Clearly, though, Chris Jones stepped up in key moments. And you know what happened is the 49ers got into a lot of third and long situations, which I warned about in leading up to this week. The Chiefs' defense is almost near impossible to get any conversions on when you're in a third and long situation. And there were times where the 49ers were shooting themselves in the foot and they were putting themselves in third and long situations, or just not getting a lot of yards on those first and second downs. And that's when the Chiefs can kind of, like, you play right into their hands. They can do a lot more. They have more options, and it makes things even more difficult for, Brock and, all that. So in those moments, I feel like Chris Jones had some very timely pressures, and when you get interior pressure, that definitely, makes it difficult for Brock, right? I was actually surprised Brock didn't use his legs a little bit more in this game. Um like I'll have to look back and see if there were even any rushing lanes there. Like they might have not really given him that. But I would like to see it a little bit more. Uh, yeah, Purdy's not elite. Purdy can't run. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought Purdy is elite yet. I think I hadn't seen that from him. Like he's obviously a really good quarterback. I think Brock is like the guy for the 49ers. Um, you know, but the 49ers need some answers. And so like that goes back to like the greater conversation of like, okay, well, now what? Now what for the 49ers? And that's what sucks about losing, getting this far and still losing, because there were a lot of questions about this team, about some free agents, about now Dre Greenlaw, torn Achilles. Like he's probably going to miss the beginning of next season, so you're not going to have him. Chase Young probably signed somewhere else. Javon Kinlaw probably signed somewhere else. Jawan Jennings, well, I'm trying to remember Jawan Jennings' contract situation. I think, yeah, I think he's a free agent. So 49ers have a lot of free agents, and this was kind of like their best shot, like a really good and balanced roster for them to do it. The one positive for the 49ers is that, Brock Purdy still has a really cheap contract, so you can build around that, but they also have a lot of money tied to other positions. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I really would like to see them invest in the offensive line. Not that they have. I mean, Trent Williams, they've invested in Trent. Uh, they've gotten some free agents. But I still think Kyle and John say it all the time. If there's an opportunity to upgrade our team, we're going to look into it. Well, I kind of feel like the offensive line could be upgraded. I'm just saying. So Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of questions like Deshaun Gibson. Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna figure like this is a good time to retire? You know, he's he's on borrowed time in the NFL, right? Like as far as his age goes. So I don't know if he feels if he'll be up to going another year and trying to do this all over again. It's tough, man. It's really tough. So we'll see. There's so many questions to be asked and to be debated all through the off season. I guess it's officially draft season. I guess I'm excited for that. I don't know. Is not the way I would have liked to go into draft season, but clearly like there's some things that the 49ers do need to address in this off season to give them a chance to come back here. But like I said, because it's so tolling emotionally, I don't know. Like a lot of people are like, they'll be back here next year. I don't know that. No one knows that. They don't know that. So it's just it's so tough. Yeah, offensive line needs to be upgraded desperately. Yeah. Ayuk needs to be a priority. Ayuk is definitely going to be a priority. I mean, Brandon Ayuk deserves a bag this offseason. We'll talk about it, in the offseason, but yeah, but for now, yeah, this loss definitely sucks. I'm still waiting to witness a 49ers Super Bowl victory in my time of being a fan. All I know is pain. I kind of hate Super Bowls. I have a lot of resentment towards Super Bowls now, so yeah, it's tough. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got a lot to discuss. I'm gonna be on KTVU tomorrow to talk about this game, 9:15 in the morning. Um, so good thing I got my tears out now, so I'm not crying on live television tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'll have some things to say then, but pretty much what I've been saying now. Like this loss isn't just on one person. Sometimes you play a Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes type, and when you have the opportunity in front of you, you better close the deal. The 49ers did have opportunities in front of them to close the deal. They were in the red zone, you know, uh, and they didn't do it. So feels like a team thing. Fabio says I need a drink. I think I've had plenty. I think that's part of the problem here. And some fried chicken. I think I need to just sleep. We're at an Airbnb. We got a hot tub, so I'm just gonna soak up whatever emotions I have and do that. but but yeah, on the bright side, Usher halftime show was pretty awesome. And so was Beyonce's the last time the 49ers lost. So I guess we'll always have that. Yeah, Sean says buy your sister another drink. It's a good idea, Sean. I'll say this too. Okay, so I'm out here in Vegas, right? And like as soon as the 49ers lost, we were just like, yo, we gotta go. Especially because I'm like, we need to get out of here, get out of the strip. And thankfully our hotels or like this Airbnb is nowhere near the strip. So we're like, we gotta go. Um and so like we're walking back from the watch party we were at, trying to get to, our car. And we do run into some Chiefs fans and they're not even like super excited. Do you know how excited we would be? We would be if we won the Super Bowl. Like they're at this point where this stuff is not even exciting to them anymore. So that pissed me that pissed me off even more cuz I'm like, man, they're out here like it's any other day. I'd be so obnoxious. I'd be so obnoxious on the streets of Las Vegas. I did see one really obnoxious Chiefs fan, but most of the other ones we saw, they didn't even seem that excited. So, man, they're taking this stuff for granted, I feel like. And I feel like we would appreciate it a hell of a lot more. Just saying. But anyway, um, yeah, man. Clearly, as you guys have seen, I have a lot of processing to do. And Harry in the comments asks, any word on Greenlaw? He tore his Achilles. Harry, yeah, he tore his Achilles. Will he be out next season? Probably not the whole season, but he's going to be out like to start the season most likely. I mean, Achilles are like multi-month, close to a year type of, injuries. And so to have that happen in the Super Bowl in February, that adds, what is it? Insult to injury or injury to insult to injury. So yeah, that's tough. That's real tough. I hate that for Greenlaw. I do not want to watch the video and see it pop. I don't. But thank you, Royal Flush. He says they say they'll continue to support the channel. I really appreciate it. I would just say this. I will always try to give you guys, passionate analysis, and I'll try to be as level-headed as possible. And also, during draft season, now that we're in draft season, I put out a lot of content for that too. So for me, it doesn't end. My content does not end at the end of the season. There's still more to talk about. So yeah, I appreciate that. And make sure you guys keep it locked on the channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Again, I know you guys are really upset, but like this video. You're not upset at me, okay? Or maybe you are. I don't know. But don't don't thumbs me down. So give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And then yeah, I'm gonna start getting into draft content like immediately, in fact. So just make sure I'll have a post-mortem week of shows this week with my usual weekly guests. And then after that, we're getting into the off season and my off season schedule. So stay tuned. But yeah, for now, I got a lot to process. Clearly, I got a lot to just kind of get through here. I don't even think I did immediate post game after last year's loss. I don't know what I did, but I don't remember crying in front of a camera. So this is new for me. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys. I know you guys are hurting too, so you know where I'm coming from. And yeah, we're here for each other. I'm fine. I'm fine. The crying is over. So I got it out and we're good. We move. All right, we move. I saw some people say this on Twitter. It's important to go back to the things that truly matter at the end of the day. NFL is just entertainment. It hurts, right? It hurts. I'm not trying to take that away from you guys. But is when we got to remember the things that truly matter in our lives, like family, friends, pets. I want to hug my cats right now. You feel that? So yeah, just turn to those things because those are the things that are gonna make your days better. Those are the things that are gonna, bring you through, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. But for now, have a good rest of your Sunday. I guess like as much as you guys can, as much as I can too. Right. But yeah, guys, peace on the 2023 season. We out.